What's going on, y'all? My name is Nader Osman, and I live in this converted school bus that I worked on myself and built myself. And today I'm going to show y'all in a 3-part series how to install the utilities into your bus. So that includes electricity, water, propane. That's about it. One per episode. A lot of the stuff I've seen online overcomplicates the system itself. They put not extra parts, but parts that they find necessary that you don't really need. You can get the water from the tank to the faucet without all these other pieces. There's a lot easier of a way to explain it, and I'm going to explain it how I wish I would have seen somebody explain it to me when I was trying to learn in the rabbit hole like you are now on YouTube. Thanks for the view. So yeah, this is the simplest way that I have figured out how to put these things together. Episode 1, water. Episode 2, electricity. And episode 3, propane. I don't yet have the propane in, so I'll make the how-to to do it, and then I'll apply it and film the whole process of me putting it in. So yeah, if you think about this in the way that it is just how to get something to move from here to here, from the tank to the faucet, from the solar panels to the battery, from the propane tank to the cooktop, whatever it is, if you think about it that way, A, it's easier to put together, B, it's easier to fix things because you understand how they work, and C, it's cheaper. So let's do it. Alright, so this is how I have made water run in my bus. Keep in mind, I'm not a licensed contractor, I'm not this or that, I'm just a dude who learned on YouTube. And this is how I wish it was explained to me with this simplicity. These are just the items that you'll have, I'll fill in the rest. But just to run it over, you need a water tank, you'll need a shutoff valve just in case you need to make a quick fix. Water pump, 12 volt DC. Propane tank for the water heater. Water heater is essential. This just makes it run. For hot water, which is obviously optional. If you don't want hot water, you don't have to do this step. And of course your sink. So, and this is just to the first degree. This is the simplest, the cheapest way that you can do this. All right, so first things first, your water tank. You will want your water tank depending on how many people you have, depending on how much water you use, depending on if you have a shower or just a kitchen, depending on all these kind of things, and also how often you want to fill up. If you want to go off grid for a long time and not have to fill up like I do, you will want a big tank. My tank is 75 gallons, which is huge for one person. I have filled it once in the past. Well, I have filled it once, period. And it's just now about to run out. I started living in this bus late January, and now we are almost in April. So, and I still have water, which is great. So this will probably be between 30 gallons and 100 gallons. 100 gallons is a lot of water, and it is incredibly heavy. You have to keep that in mind if you're driving around a lot. 100 gallons of water will weigh you down. You will feel it when you drive. Keep that in mind. So to connect your water tank to the next piece, you will need, depending on what your tank comes with, my tank came with an exit port that is 3/4 inch female. So I got what this is a 3/4 inch male hose fitting that will connect on the other side to a normal hose, which you will then connect to whatever garden hose or garden latch, whatever that people have or will let you use so you can fill up your tank. So onwards, this will connect via PEX piping, which is what we've got here. This PEX piping you can find at it's the best thing you can use for a vehicle that moves. You can find it, I think it was $6 for 20 feet of the stuff. They have red and blue, so you can color code to hot and cold, just so repairs are easy later down the line. But the thing is that the fittings are very expensive. So next, what this is a shutoff valve. Why you need a shutoff valve is when later down the line you have to make any repairs. Once you cut one of the pipe, for example, this pipe, once you cut this pipe, water is just gonna flow. So the only part of your system that you want to just stay, that you don't want to touch, is right here, from the tank to the shutoff valve. Because once you close this, you can make all the repairs. You'll have a little bit of spillage, but that's okay. It happens. Then you connect all your stuff, open the valve, and you got running water again. You don't want to screw up anything here. Be very careful, because if this were to break, then water just floods, and if you got 100 gallons, that's quite an issue you have. So you can get these shutoff valves custom for the PEX piping, either 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch, whichever you decide. Those things are like $12 to $15, or way more expensive than, and it's just one of them. You don't buy a pack. Like the pack of the elbow pieces are, I think it was like $10, something like that, which is pretty expensive. But this one piece is almost $15, which is just crazy, but it is what it is. Onwards, you have your water pump. It is the heart of your water system, the most essential piece, because this is what gets the water to your sink. It's what moves the water. So this water pump is going to be 12-volt DC. This will, when you get this out of the box, if you order from Amazon, you order, it's just a normal RV water pump, but you have a positive and a negative wire coming out. These two wires are going to connect to your inverter. So in order to have running water, you have to have your electrical system done first. We'll say this over here is the inverter. We'll say the inverter's up here. So the job of your inverter is to convert or invert the pure electricity that's coming from your battery into actual usable electricity. And there are two sides of this inverter. You've got the AC side, which is 120 volts. That's what you plug home appliances into. That is the same type of electricity that a normal house outlet runs. And you've got DC. So the DC power is 12 volt. AC is 120 volt. So these two lines, I kind of screwed this up, but we'll redirect. We got options. On your inverter will be 3 ports that you will want to look for. One of them is positive, one of them is negative, one of them is ground. If you're not sure which one is which, make sure to call whoever you bought the inverter from, probably Renogy or any of these companies, and make sure that you ask them which is which. You don't want to screw that up. You could damage your inverter, damage your water pump, buy a new one, and nobody ever likes to do that. So make sure you're clear about that. All right, so at that point, you've got your water pump powered. You need more piping here to go through here. Next is your water heater. This is where things get a tiny bit more complicated, because now you have 2 routes of water. You have your cold and your hot water. Your hot water will obviously run to cold water will run to the water heater to then become hot, and then run on down to your ugly ass sink. Literally, that's exactly what my sink looks like. You will need more PEX piping and more PEX fittings to run on in here. So your water heater is going to be powered by propane. So both water and propane are going to run to your water heater. We'll say this is the propane line. So every water heater is different. Some are activated by the flow of the water, some are activated by a button or a lever, whatever it is. All water heaters are different, so I don't really want to get too deep into the water heater, just in case what I say doesn't line up with the type of water heater you have. But this is basically how it's going to be. You'll have the fuel to heat the water, propane, or if you have an electric water heater, it's going to be different. I'm going to use a propane one. I'm still not fully propaned in the crib, but this is for the most part what it's going to look like. You will also have an optional, I didn't put a filter in mine, but you do have the option of sticking a little filter right here just in case you're interested in something like that. It's very easy to put in. Out of the water pump, you will have your line going for cold water and for hot water. So out of your water pump, go on directly down here. This is the cold water, and this is, okay, I'll make them both. This is your hot water. The hot water will end up here. As you can see, red for hot, blue for cold. That is your end destination. So then you kind of have to map out your bus and see exactly where point A, point B is, and then you run it all the way there. So next, these are going to run in, so this is hot water. Hot water is going to run right up under the sink. God Lord, I wish I could draw. Get a little goofy right here. This isn't actually how it would look. Oh my God, I screwed it up. So under the sink, which is right here, you buy the sink as is, or you buy the faucet. Mine came with the sink and it's very small. Something about the sink. Spend a little bit more money, get a bigger sink if it'll fit in your kitchen. I couldn't get a huge sink because I needed, this distance is cut off by 2 walls. So I had to make the sink fit in here. This is the most efficient size I got. It is what it is. Give yourself options about how big your sink can be. So under the sink, you will have, is this recording? Yeah. You have the end parts of the PEX piping coming straight from the water tank. So my pipes are all 1/2 inch. You will want to be consistent with the 1/2 inch through every single thing you buy. That'll flow up. You connect it to the bottom of the sink. You have running water, and the first time you make your water run, it is for me at least, it was a huge accomplishment. I was very happy that I was able to figure out this puzzle out. That's exactly what this is. That it's a big puzzle. It's ugly right here, but once you put it into place and you get it working and you fix all the leaks, it's a beautiful thing. All of the joints. So right here you will have a joint. Right here you will have a joint. Right here. Right here. Right here. All these little spots and places that things connect, you will have a joint. You will have to buy these joints. You will have to piece them together as needed. You will want to put some sort of adhesive or a watertight sealant on each of these joints. If temperatures rise and cool quickly, your materials are going to warp a little bit, and that could cause leaks. If you're going off-roading a lot, that could cause leaks. If you got a lot of vibration, whatever it is. So that's that. That's how I did my water system. This is I think this is as simple as it gets. I will go over the electrical system soon, as well as the propane system, and how I will do my own propane system, because it's not in yet. But everything takes time, and put good time into your bus. This is going to be your home, so yeah, make sure you build yours well. So that's that. If you have any questions whatsoever about any part of this or any optional stuff you want to put in, leave a comment below. Let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Leave a like if you'd like to help me out. It will be very much appreciated. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos, because I have a lot more in store. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Alrighty.